are here today because you are the best of the best. You are part of the Crew Leadership Council because somebody not only believed in you, but also believed in your talent to motivate and influence others on an even greater scale than ever imagined.
You know, belonging to a team is a result of feeling part of something that's greater than yourself. Your team, the Crew Leadership Council, is making a huge impact every day. You're making an impact on your fellow crew people, you're making an impact on the managers in your restaurant, and most importantly, you're making an impact on every customer every single day that you're in the restaurant. So I'm going to share with you a story. And it's a story about geese. We're not really talking about McDonald's, but you'll get it. So have you ever noticed that when geese start heading south for the winter, they may have stayed here all year this time though, right? They fly in a V formation. Here's what science has discovered about why they fly that way. As each bird flaps its wings, it creates an uplift for the bird immediately following it. By flying in a V formation, the whole flock adds at least 71% greater flying range than if each bird flew on its own. Similarly, people who share a common direction and sense of community can get where they're going more quickly and more easily because they're traveling on the thrust of one another. When a goose falls out of formation, it suddenly feels the drag and resistance of trying to go it alone. It quickly gets back into formation to take advantage of the lifting power of the bird in front of it. If we have as much sense as a goose, we will stay in formation and work together with those who are headed in the same direction that we are. When the lead goose gets tired, it rotates back to the wing formation and another goose takes its position in the lead. It makes sense to take turns with demanding jobs and leadership. People, or geese flying south for the winter, are interdependent on each other's skills, capabilities, gifts, and talents. Geese honk from behind to encourage those up front to keep up their speed. We need to make sure that our honking is encouraging. The power of encouragement is the quality of honking that we seek. Finally, and this is important, when a goose gets sick or is wounded by gunshots and falls out of formation, 2 other geese fall out with that goose. They follow it down to the ground to lend a hand and protection. They stay with that goose until it is able to fly again or until that goose dies. Only then do they launch out on their own with another formation to catch up with their group. If we have the sense of a goose, we will stand by each other like that. So we could take some lessons from the geese, right? Like you, they provide an example of the importance of teamwork and how it can have a profound effect on your lives and on your work. Geese take full advantage of the power of the group. They share leadership responsibilities, and they're able to leverage the strengths of each individual member. Geese don't spend even a second probably thinking about the impact of their leadership and their teamwork. But they do teach us that we can accomplish more when we work together, and you are proof of that. Finally, the geese teach us that someone has to lead. Others need to honk from behind. In teams where there's support and encouragement, the results are much greater. This is what you provide your team. I thank you for your leadership, your commitment, and your teamwork. Know that you are making a difference every day. Work together, share the hard jobs, and make sure that your honking is encouraging.
We're asking that you continue to coach our teams on effective parking, make sure the presenters are trained and know the expectations of the position, follow up and make sure a dedicated park runner is being used, finally make sure that the targets are being set and the entire team knows those targets. Let's keep the tires moving and our drive-thrus growing.
With smart order taking, we have been able to see some dramatic results in our drive-thrus. Using the method of smart order taking and pull forward, you can increase the number of customers you are serving every day.
Every single crew person has to taste these new products when they come in the door, so they can describe them to our valued guests.
But first of all, I wanted to say thank you for everything you do at the stores every day in and day out. Every time I have to recognize Milwaukee for unit movement of shamrocks right now. You guys #1 in the country in all of the McAllister region. to know your product, to know and be proud of the products that we sell. Because customers come to us not because we're trying to sell them something, but because we're selling the products that they want to buy, they like those products, and they need to know we have them in our stores. They are looking for that new, they're looking for variety. They like our products, but like I said, they're looking for something new. And that's who we are trying to get to our stores more often. So because it's new products, they don't know we have them in the stores, right? They need to come and we need to tell them, have you tried? Or would you like to sample? Or we have POP that tells you them about that. Products do not sell themselves. If they're in a cupboard, if they're in a refrigerator, they don't sell themselves. You are the guys who sell them. You are the guys who offer those products to our customers. So how are we gonna be better retailers? Product knowledge. Through product knowledge, we need to know what our products are. But again, it starts with you. You need to sample all the products. You need to know what the products are, how they taste when customer asks you. So let's be proud of our brand and just continue to tell our customers our story. Again, that's what good retailers are, and that's why people come back to us.
So when we get back to the restaurants, what we really need you to do is promote those items and utilize smart order taking to get those products into the customer's hands.
I'm going to ask a series of questions. The first team to hit the buzzer will get a chance to answer. Okay, ready? The first question is, how many seconds should it take to take an order? Seconds does it take? Small, quick way and parking for llama. Great job. Okay, number 5.
Who won? All right, yeah, we're a team, right? Part of being a role model is to inspire your crew to deliver McDonald's brand promise. Each and every day, we can have an impact at our restaurants, enabling others to do the right thing. We have a choice every day when we come to work to do the right thing. We can choose which path we take every single day.
To me, that's what coaching's all about. It's understanding that I have the influence, I have the power to help make a difference within my restaurant. But it's not always easy. Right now, you're working with other crew members, other managers. You guys are at the same level. And sometimes it's difficult to coach those crew members that don't have the excitement, the pride, and the willingness to change within your restaurant. So understand the way that you coach, the way that you provide feedback is really going to determine whether or not you're going to have the influence over the other crew and managers in the restaurant. There are 3 types of feedback that we have. 2 of them will help you be a great coach. The other one should never ever be used in the restaurants. First one that we have up there is constructive feedback. Constructive feedback helps us identify the issue that's going to need to be corrected. It also helps improve performance because now we know as a crew person and as a manager what is needed to be changed. The last thing that it does, it builds relationships because I know that you as a coach is helping me improve what I do each and every day. The next example is appreciative feedback. Appreciative feedback recognizes and rewards somebody for doing a great job. As a coach in your restaurant, you need to be looking for those things that the crew are doing well. You need to be letting them know what they did well so that way it will reinforce those great behaviors that you're looking for. Now, as I said, there's 2 forms of feedback that you should be using as a great coach. Those are the 2. The last type of feedback is negative feedback. Negative feedback provides little to no improvement. It also destroys the relationship. Well, constructive feedback, you're letting an individual know what they can do to improve. So it's important to know the difference between negative, which really provides nothing to anybody, and constructive feedback. First of all, coaching really should be done throughout the shift. Don't think this is a one and done type thing. This should be as I'm in my position, as I'm running a shift, throughout the entire day, I should be looking for things that people are doing right, provide them appreciative feedback, and things that crew and other managers can improve on. And that's where constructive feedback comes in. Make sure that it's behavior focused. What can they actually change? Be specific. The last thing that I'll say is have fun. Enjoy what you do.
The beauty and the honor is not in never falling, but in rising every time we fall. The beauty is not ever in not making a mistake, but making it right when we do make a mistake. The customer walking away from the counter, carrying that tray or the bag, or pulling out of the drive-thru line. That's those few seconds make an impression in their mind whether they're going to come back to this brand, whether they're going to come back to the restaurant or not. You make that moment special. You make that moment so memorable that they always come back. You are the reason why customers keep coming back to brand McDonald's, because they don't only love the food, but they love the interaction which they have with each one of you. That's the only thing which helps the customer come back to our restaurants. That's the only thing we all work for this great brand.
So I want to ask you, what are you going to do different when you go back to the restaurant? Since you're motivated, you want to go back, you want to share what you've learned today with other crew people, we know that you're going to go back and you're going to motivate, train, you're going to coach, you're going to lead. So we're also going to provide you with some tools when you go back to the restaurant, which is something that we didn't do last time, but something that we want to make it a little bit easier for you. A couple of things that we're going to be providing you with is a binder. And in this binder, we are going to have information about all the upcoming meetings. We will have all of our contact information on there so that you can get into touch with us. The address will be on there. Chad talked earlier about how we're going to ask you to mentor 2 additional crew people in the restaurant. In this binder, there will be an advanced service SOC for you to use when you're certifying these 2 crew. And then also, we're going to be providing with each of you 2 pins to award to that crew person after they're done completing it. So now when you're verifying them on that SOC, that doesn't mean that you just do the SOC and say, okay, yeah, you know how to take smart orders, and you give them that pin. We want you to work with them on a regular basis for probably about a month. And then once they are an expert and they know how to do it 100% all the time without fail, that's when you award them with that pin. And what do you think is going to start happening? When other crew people see you giving out pins, they're going to want one as well. So this is something that we're hoping to continue month after month. We're also asking if each restaurant to hold an in-store meeting once a month, and we will provide you an agenda for that meeting. And then in the binder, there's also going to be folders for each member of the CLC, and in there you can keep notes, you can keep completed verifications in the binder as well.
You're sitting here a part of right now. The CLC is right on the edge of being potentially something like that event. The region's watching you, the division's watching you. Honestly, the country is watching what is being started here in this room. So you should be extremely proud of the fact that you're here and very excited to be able to say, and that's why I'm excited, and that was the feedback I gave to Mohit, how excited I am now to say I was here when the CLC started.
I just wanted to share that one of our best bets when we're parking our car. But I think with the smart order taking, I think the people on window or counter.
With our smart order taking, we have 2 additional people that wear headsets.
One thing that I would bring back would be not only following up on the crew, but also following up on the managers.
I think the hardest thing that I struggle with is trying to find like a nice way to come across to crew to correct something they're doing wrong.
We're going to take back to the store. I'm going to help the crew members
make, when you're coaching somebody, for upselling even, make upselling fun.
So we keep track and we don't have to yell, where's this car, where's that car?
So nobody's ever just running around trying to figure out, yeah, we got that down.
We have 4 leaders in this group and we have each other as encouragement.
My biggest thing to take back is the coaching. I think what we're going to take back is the PFE.
What I will take back, what all will be taken back is motivation.
One thing that we're going to do is let our crew, the rest of the crew, know more about this meeting so that they know what we're trying to do.